Welcome back to Drive RPM. For the last decade, a specific narrative has dominated showrooms from London to Sydney. We've been told the internal combustion engine is in its twilight, that legacy giants like Volkswagen and Toyota are merely stewarding petrol power through a graceful decline while awaiting an inevitable electric future. The prevailing wisdom suggested we had reached the pinnacle of mechanical engineering, with milestones like Toyota's 41% thermally efficient dynamic force engine hailed as the absolute limit of physics for a road car. That narrative has now been fundamentally shattered. The industry's wake-up call has arrived, and it did not emanate from Stuttgart, Detroit, or Tokyo. Instead, it has come from a sleeping giant in China, which has just certified a new petrol engine with a staggering thermal efficiency of 48.09%. Let that number truly sink in. In the unforgiving realm of thermodynamics, where every fractional gain is a monumental struggle, 48% is not a marginal improvement. It is a quantum leap. This figure places the best production engines from Toyota and Nissan, and even the highly strung derivatives from Mercedes-AMG's Formula One technology, firmly in the shade. This is the Dongfeng Mach 1.5 Turbo, an engine that promises ranges exceeding 1,300 kilometers on a single tank and fuel economy figures that border on science fiction. Today on Drive RPM, we are conducting a full forensic dossier on this technology. We will investigate whether China's automotive titans have finally outmaneuvered the engineering masters of the West. Before we dissect this engine's secrets, we must first address the inherent skepticism. Viewers in Australia or the UK might be asking, who is Dongfeng? Is this just another automotive startup with no heritage? That assumption would be a critical error. Dongfeng Motor Corporation is not a startup. Founded in 1969 initially to produce heavy military trucks, it is one of China's big four state-owned automotive conglomerates. Their relevance to a global audience is profound and already embedded in your driving experience. Sitting in a driveway in Birmingham or Brisbane, you have likely driven a vehicle built by them without even realizing it. For 3 decades, Dongfeng has been the strategic manufacturing partner for Honda, Nissan and Stellantis in China. The Peugeot 408 on French roads carries Dongfeng DNA. The manufacturing precision seen in the Nissan Qashqai or the Honda CR-V has been honed by Dongfeng for years. They have spent decades as the apprentice, meticulously absorbing Japanese manufacturing rigor and French chassis dynamism. To comprehend why 48% efficiency is revolutionary, we must return to fundamentals. Consider the engine in a typical modern car, maybe a standard 2-liter petrol unit. It is, fundamentally, a machine engineered to waste energy. For every $100 or €100 spent at the fuel pump, roughly $70 vanishes immediately. This energy dissipates as heat through the radiator, escapes as hot gas from the exhaust, and is consumed by the friction of pistons scraping against cylinder walls. Only about 30% of that monetary investment actually translates to turning the wheels. This represents a thermal efficiency of around 30%, a figure that is both inefficient and expensive. Toyota changed the game with the Prius and Camry hybrids, utilizing the Atkinson cycle to elevate that number to 41%, which became the industry's gold standard. Dongfeng observed that 41% benchmark and identified another 7% of potential. While 7% may sound modest, in high-stakes engineering terms, extracting such efficiency at this level is akin to shattering a marathon world record by 20 minutes. It demands a complete rewrite of the rulebook across 3 critical fronts: combustion, friction, and thermal management. The first pillar of this revolution lies in the compression ratio. In a conventional petrol engine, the piston compresses the air-fuel mixture at a ratio of perhaps 10:1 or 12:1. Compress it further, and the petrol detonates prematurely, a phenomenon known as knocking that can destroy an engine. Diesel engines routinely operate at compression ratios around 16:1 because they don't rely on spark plugs, which is a key reason for their superior highway efficiency. Analysis of the Dongfeng Mach 1.5 Turbo reveals it operates at a compression ratio of 15.5:1. This is, for a turbocharged petrol engine, nothing short of insane. They are applying diesel-level compression to petrol. By squeezing the mixture this tightly, the expansion stroke extracts dramatically more energy from every molecule of fuel. The paramount question is, how do they prevent catastrophic detonation? The answer lies in a proprietary combustion control system paired with a piston head design engineered to create specific turbulence within the chamber. This allows them to ride the razor's edge of physics without crossing into destructive territory. Complementing this is the fuel delivery system. Modern direct injection systems in cars from Volkswagen or Ford typically operate between 200 and 350 bar of pressure. Dongfeng has escalated this to 500 bar. To provide some context, 500 bar is 500 times the atmospheric pressure at sea level, a force that's actually comparable to industrial water jet cutting tools. Why does this extreme pressure matter for the driver? At this intensity, fuel doesn't merely spray into the cylinder, it atomizes into an ultra-fine microscopic mist instantaneously. Smaller fuel droplets equate to a faster, more complete, and cleaner burn. For European viewers concerned with Euro 6 and the impending Euro 7 standards, this is a critical advancement. A cleaner burn results in fewer particulates, less soot, and reduced strain on the catalytic converter. This innovation is not solely about power. It is about achieving maximum range while satisfying the world's most stringent regulators. However, generating power efficiently is a futile exercise if it is subsequently lost to internal friction. This is where material science becomes fascinating. Dongfeng has abandoned traditional heavy cast iron cylinder liners. In their place is a thermal spray coating, a microscopic, mirror finish layer that is exceptionally hard and slick. This coating drastically reduces the friction generated by pistons oscillating thousands of times per minute. Reduced friction means less wasted energy converted into heat, which in turn means more power is delivered to the gearbox. Furthermore, they have integrated a variable geometry turbocharger, or VGT. Enthusiasts will recognize VGTs from diesel engines or high-performance icons like the Porsche 911 Turbo. They're pretty rare on mainstream petrol engines because the hotter exhaust gases from petrol combustion tend to melt the turbo's variable vanes. Dongfeng has overcome this by developing new, heat-resistant alloys. This technological triumph means the turbo can provide optimal responsiveness in low-speed stop-start traffic in Sydney, while also delivering maximum breathability for high-speed cruising on the German Autobahn. It's honestly the epitome of having the best of both worlds. Let us ground this discussion in real-world comparisons. The perennial benchmark has been the Toyota RAV4 Hybrid. Its 2.5-liter dynamic force engine is legendary for reliability and sits at 41% thermal efficiency, the safe, respected choice. Meanwhile, BYD has been making significant inroads in Europe and Australia with models like the Atto 3 and Seal, known as the Celion 6, whose DMI hybrid system operates at an impressive 43% efficiency. The Dongfeng Mach 1.5 Turbo, at 48.09%, exists in a different league entirely. In a plug-in hybrid configuration, where the engine primarily acts as a generator to charge the battery, this efficiency differential is, honestly, transformative. It means the engine needs to run for significantly shorter periods to produce the same amount of electrical energy. Dongfeng claims this technology enables a combined range of over 1,300 kilometers. For Australian viewers, that translates to a journey from Sydney to Melbourne on a single tank, with, ample fuel remaining for a week of urban commuting. For Europeans, it means driving from London to Munich without a single refueling stop or the anxiety of searching for a functional EV charger. This is the true range anxiety killer. It offers the quiet, responsive driving experience associated with EVs, coupled with the long-distance capability of a diesel, but really, without diesel's typical noise and emission stigma. So, what is the verdict from Drive RPM? The Dongfeng Mach 1.5 Turbo is compelling proof that the internal combustion engine is not dead. It is evolving with startling rapidity. While Western governments and many legacy manufacturers champion a 100% electric future by 2035, engineers at Dongfeng and other Chinese innovators are betting on a transitional, pragmatic reality. They understand that for millions of drivers in the Australian outback, the British countryside, or rural Europe, the infrastructure and practicality of pure electric vehicles are not yet fully realized. A technological bridge is needed, and the Mach 1.5 Turbo represents one of the most impressive bridges yet constructed. China's automotive giants are no longer just manufacturing partners, they have unequivocally become innovators. If I were an engineer at Volkswagen in Wolfsburg or Toyota City today, I would be scrutinizing this engine with intense, urgent focus. The conversation, however, does not end